I cheated on my husband. Hey guys, my name is Danny and I'm your life and relationship coach. And first of all, let me say, if you will find yourself in this situation, I empathize with you. I know how difficult this situation can be. And I wanted to tell you that this is a judgment-free zone. There is no judgments here. I'm not here to tell you you are a bad person or what you did was wrong. I'm here to help you understand why you may have potentially cheated on your husband and what you can do to try to potentially fix the situation. At Happily Committed, we are determined to help couples fix their relationship. Because to be honest with you, breakups are never easy, and a lot of the times people want to get back together after they have broken up with their significant other. So, as I said, I am not here to judge. I am not here to, again, tell you that you are wrong for what you did. I am just here to give you some information and hopefully help you gain some insight that you are currently having trouble gaining or understanding. So, the first thing that we have to talk about is why it happened. Now, I know that you have probably already racked your brain over it, and maybe you have already asked yourself all of the tough questions. But if you have not, the first thing you have to do is ask yourself those hard questions. Why did I cheat? What drove me to cheat? When did I stop being satisfied in my relationship? Was I in love with the person whom I cheated with, or was I in love with the feeling? What aspects of my relationship were missing that made me dissatisfied and made me go outside of the marriage? These are all questions that you have to ask yourself, and you have to sit with them and try to get to the root of the issue, because until you are able to get to the root of the infidelity, it will be difficult to be able to start to mend and heal and move on from this process. So the next question is, what do I do? And a lot of the times in these cases, there's almost this frantic need to have an answer. There's an immediate answer that you want. You want everything to be fixed right now. And I empathize with you. I understand. It is because the pain and the hurt and the remorse and the guilt is so great that it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. But I also want to be transparent with you, and I also want to be 100% honest. This is going to take time, and it is not going to be an easy journey. But it is a possible journey, and it is something that can be done if you are committed to the process and if you are committed to ending the whatever relationship you have going outside of your marriage, or if the infidelity is something that has been going on for a long time. You have to cut ties with the person you are cheating on your husband with. If you are not willing to do that, then this is not the right video for you. So let's get into some of the things that you can do. Empathy. You will need a lot of this. You need to be able to understand where your husband is coming from, whether you have told him already or you have yet to tell him. When you do tell him, when you go through the process of that, it is going to be difficult. He is going to be upset. He is going to be angry. He may lash out at you. He may completely ignore you, which sometimes can feel worse, to not have an immediate emotional response. So, if that is the case, you are going to have a lot of empathy. You need to put yourself in your husband's shoes and understand that if the situation was reversed, you probably would have the same reaction. The second thing is patience. And like I said before, this is going to take time. This is not an overnight solution. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And most of the time, when infidelity happens within a relationship and there is a process of having to rebuild trust, it takes months, sometimes years. So if you are committed to that process, then you have to understand that it is going to take time. This is not going to be easy. That does not mean that it is impossible. That does not mean that you will not be able to mend your relationship. But I just want to give you a realistic understanding of what is to come. Number 3, consistency. Consistency is key in this situation. So if you have told your husband and you are in a situation where you are trying to rebuild the trust in your relationship and you are trying to mend your relationship, you will have to be consistent in regards to your actions, not your words. Because as of right now, your words hold no weight. You have to show your husband that you are willing to change, that you will not do this again, and that you are committed to the process. So what does that mean? If you tell your husband you are going to be home at 6 o'clock, then you are home at 6 o'clock. If you tell your husband that you are going to go and pick up the kids from school, then you go and pick up the kids from school. You have to be true to your word, because the only way that your husband is going to start trusting you again is if he can match your actions to your words. And the fourth one, and the most important one, is accountability. You have to take responsibility for your actions. You have to acknowledge the fact that you cheated on your husband. There was infidelity, and you were the culprit in that situation. Now, that does not mean that there weren't things that were going on in your relationship that led you to the affair, to have the affair, because that is a possibility. That happens a lot. You were probably dissatisfied, you didn't feel fulfilled, and so you went looking somewhere else. That is not what this is about. This is about you being accountable for the fact that you cheated and that you have hurt your husband and have caused a break in the relationship. Until you are able to take responsibility, then it'll be very difficult for you to move on in this process. Because reverse the situation. If your husband had been the one to cheat and he does not want to take accountability or responsibility for that action, it would be very difficult for you to accept or to even move on from that point, because you feel like he is not admitting to his faults. So keep in mind, taking accountability is key. Now, I know that's only 4 tips, but for me, those are the foundational tips, the foundational steps that you can take to start to try to mend your relationship. But as I mentioned before, and as I said before, you have to be committed to the process. You have to end the affair with the other person. You have to cut all ties, all connections, and you have to refocus all of your attention to mending your relationship. And it will take time, but it is possible. It's possible that you felt like you needed to step outside of the marriage because you felt like you fell into a routine, and a routine is the killer of all relationships. And if that is the case and you feel like you were in a rut for a long time, click on the video below. I have developed a training to show you how to break routine in a relationship. But there is also another training that I have created that I think will help you gain perspective and more self-awareness as well. It is a training on self-awareness, and it gets you to understand how you work emotionally and mentally. If you were unaware of the fact that you were unhappy, if you were unaware of the fact that you were dissatisfied and you just ended up having an affair and you don't really know how you got here, that is a lack of self-awareness. So if you feel like you have issues reflecting and going internally, click on the link below as well. I have also attached the training that I created to help you gain self-awareness, and I promise you this will help you to develop as an individual and will help you in your relationship. If you related to this video, please make sure you hit like and subscribe. If you have any questions, if you want to dive, if you are currently in this situation or you have been through this situation, I would love to hear from you. I enjoy the dialogue, so please leave your comments in the comment section below. If you just want to know more, or if you feel like you did not get enough and you just need more information, more clarity, please visit us at happilycommitted.com, where we have a multitude of different articles, blogs, and videos related to this topic and several other topics as well. You can also book a one-on-one coaching session with myself or any of the other coaches on the team. Again, my name is Danny. I'm your life and relationship coach. I hope you guys are staying happy and healthy, and I hope to see you guys soon.